we're very close to. Nikki, please update me if you're picking up this audio. Sorry, go again. Okay, well, I can't copy Nikki, but I hope you did manage to hear that audio, and I wish we were there watching what was going on, but it is what it is, and we're not there, and we can't get there, even though it's so close. Anyway, interesting times lie ahead. So what we can assume now, or what you may have been able to piece together in this puzzle, and is that Tingana is there. He's a male leopard. Now there's a hyena there making a racket, and there's a strong chance that the leopard and the hyena are fighting over something. Now what would they fight over? They would be fighting over meat. And here comes another hyena that's coming into the scene that VM's just seen. Well spotted, VM. And isn't this awesome? There's another hyena on the way to you guys. And well done there, VM. So this hyena has obviously heard the chaos and decided it wants to get a piece of the action, and that's normal because it would have realized that there's something worth fighting about there. Well, interestingly enough, it's an aardvark, which is a nocturnal animal that we very rarely see. And this specific male leopard has become a professional at killing these aardvark. They are not very numerous in the Sabi Sands, and I think this is the 5th one that he's been documented to catch. I have never seen an aardvark in the Sabi Sands. In all fairness, they do move very late at night, kind of. I want to be there. And I'll try and keep as quiet as I can when the audio does kick in, but I also do need to explain to everyone that we are next in queue. Copy, thanks Nikki. And Nikki says she is picking up the audio clearly, so you can all hear it, and I must apologize for us to not be there right now, but it is what it is. We are next in queue, and naturally anybody who is in that sighting, even if it was us, you would not want to leave. So we are just not in the right place at the right time, and that happens out here, and at least we're close enough to hear it, because there's a lot of people that are on safari here in the Sabi Sands that don't even have a clue what's going on here. Oh, well spotted, VM. Another vulture, and it may well have seen this action from above and now come to investigate closer, because it's floating just above where the leopard and hyena currently are. So it could have seen the hyena running from a distance in this direction. I'm not sure it would have responded to the audio, but who knows, if it was close enough, it could well have heard this characteristic sounds that are associated with kills, and that is often the hyena. Copy, thanks so much, Doug. If you can, would you mind just updating me a little bit on what went on there, just so I can tell the viewers because they certainly could hear it, but we obviously had no idea what happened. Thank you very much, Doug. Okay, well this is awesome. Doug has kindly and very kindly said he's willing to make space. There is still a bit of interaction there, but we must be very, very grateful because for somebody to leave a sighting like this is obviously very difficult, and Doug has so kindly made space for us, and there is still a bit of action. Basically, what Doug tells me is that he was Tingana and one hyena were wrestling over the aardvark kill, and that was the commotion we heard. Tingana was managing to do a fairly decent job at competing with the hyena, but when the second hyena that VM spotted came in, then the power balance shifted and the leopard has now lost the kill. The two hyenas are feeding on it, but the leopard is still watching it and may go in and try and sneak in again. And here comes the third hyena, just in front of us, and not wasting any time, wanting to get to that kill as quickly as possible. Doug, thank you so much for making space, buddy. No worries, are you on? Morning, folks. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, well, just a few seconds now, folks, and then we're in for a treat. An absolute treat. The third hyena is just arriving on the scene. Not sure where the best place to position the vehicle is, but we will work it out shortly. Now you can see that there's one hyena that's obviously dominant over the other two, and it did chase one out as we arrived here now. So this one is dominant and doesn't appear to be allowing the others to feed. The leopard is lying up nearby to us. I cannot see it now, but Ryan did show me where it is, and it is to the right of our vehicle, to the right of where we started, where we parked. Apologies, there he goes there, VM. If we can just get a quick shot of him as he moves off. A beautiful big male leopard. So now he's busy slinking off, and I wonder why I didn't have the kill hoisted up a tree. It is easier for them to feed on kills when they are on the ground. So you've had a brief glimpse of the leopard, and now I think the hyena are going to be providing us with the best action. Now, we can't tell that it's an aardvark from here, but it is, and I'm just going to get my binoculars out and try and have a closer look. Now, hyena's jaws are some of the strongest out here, strongest of the predators out here, and it's for this purpose. It's for... Here comes another hyena. We're in for a bit more action. No, VM, stay on the action, stay on the kill. Well, it'll be interesting to know how far and wide they are coming from, and whether they're from different clans. This one immediately has not even attempted, the one that arrived, has not even attempted to overthrow the one that's feeding. So clearly there's some dominance here, but we'll keep a close eye on things. So just to keep everyone updated, it's now 4 hyena and one male leopard lying up nearby. Sadly for the male leopard, he has lost his kill, and I don't think he's going to see any more of it. With one hyena, there's a small chance a large male leopard will be able to compete on the ground for a kill like this. And as soon as any more hyena come, it will become close to impossible for him to safely try and keep the kill, and that's why he's abandoned it, and he's lying up probably 25 meters away from all this action, and he knows there he's safe because it's the meat that they're after mainly. And these hyena now have got only themselves to worry about. As he lifts up that piece of meat, that you can see the claws, and those are very characteristic claws of the aardvark. So that's about the only feature that we can show you of this rare nocturnal animal that is distinguishable on the carcass at this stage. Is there another hyena arriving? Potentially. I just saw one look back in the direction they've all been coming from, but nothing further. Well, just to let everyone know, we may spend a few minutes more than the regular drive due to all the action here. This is really great, and we very seldom, or I've yet to see or hear hyena interaction like this in the 5 months we've been filming. So let's stick around and see what happens with these hyena. Here comes the leopard. Let's see what the leopard's going to do to him. He may well try and chase one of the hyena, or well, we could well find him up a tree shortly. Well, the other three hyena are now on their way back. That chased him off. And interesting how it works. Those three hyena are essentially doing the other hyena that's left here feeding a huge favor. And it's incredible how numbers change things. As soon as you've got safety in numbers and strength in numbers, the behavior of animals can differ greatly. And this is clearly evident now. One-on-one, they wouldn't dare take on that male leopard as boldly as they did now. I am tempted to try and go and have a quick look for him. Not an easy decision because there's obviously great action here, but it appears that only one hyena is feeding and they're not going to compete too much between one another. So let's see if we can go and try and find a visual of this leopard, which is not going to be easy to find now, but certainly worth looking around for. And he was, after all, the reason why we've come here, but we haven't spent much time at all looking at him. And I can, interestingly enough, actually see a lot of excavations in this area that would have been dug by the aardvark, and which is making prey, which is making, where was I going with this? So the aardvark would have been digging, and they dig for termites. Aardvark, the prey animal that the hyena were feeding on there, that they'd stolen from the leopard, are highly specialized in feeding on termites. And that's why they've got those big claws to be able to dig into termite mounds. Yeah. So the leopard kind of ran up in this general direction. It's hard to say how far. Okay, well done. He came straight to the base of this tree, which I guess he could have climbed up if need be. And that is why we came here, to have a look around. And he's still looking intently back in the direction of the kill. What a beautiful big male this is. You can't feel too sorry for it though. It was this leopard's bad judgments of not having the kill up the tree. It certainly would not have been too big or too heavy for the leopard to get into a tree. And it was right below Marula where it could have quite comfortably, or easily rather, have had that kill. But the risk he took of having it on the ground was that if any other animal like a hyena or even lion comes onto the scene, there's going to be a strong likelihood that he loses it. And you can see he's very cautiously backing into the shade of this round leaf teak. I'm glad we got this view of him here. Now, let's go back and have a quick look at what the hyena are doing. Like I say, I'm not convinced that there's going to be too much more interaction from them, but I'm glad we got a good look at this big male leopard. But I fear this is going to be the position he acquires for some time now before the hyena eventually finish the kill. And then what I'm guessing he will do is then go back into that area and look for any scraps or tidbits to feed on. Well done there, Vian. Thank you. I'm just going to wait. There's another vehicle that's come in. One vehicle's made space, another one's coming in. And protocol in a sighting like this is that we will only move one vehicle at a time, and that's to prevent there being too much audio. That is if the animals are stationary. I can't copy you at all, sadly. So apologies. I cannot copy what Nikki's saying, therefore it makes it very difficult to send through any questions to me. So if you do have any questions that are being not answered, I'm sorry, but there's a lot going on here. Well folks, I'm just going to have a brief look at these hyena one last time, and then myself and VM do have a fair distance to get back to camp. And it has been a wonderful morning, but I feel that all the action here is done. And the hyena have got lucky this morning, and that does happen. And it won't be the first time this leopard would have lost a kill to the hyena. Well, as I said, it's time to make space for us. There is another vehicle now that wants to come into the sighting and take our spot. And we have had a great time, but it's important to share what little remains of this kill. So we're going to make space, and we'll catch up with you this afternoon. I'm not sure whether myself or Brent is going out. We're hoping to have the second vehicle fixed up by tomorrow, so it could well just be Brent and VM out this afternoon. Either way, there will be a safari, so tune in and we'll see you next time.